Hello everyone, and welcome to my corner of the world. And today I'm going to share a spring themed card with a very simple fancy fold known as a gatefold, which basically means we have three opening parts, 3 panels and 2 opening parts. So the theme is spring. And I don't have any stamps that say spring or anything like that, but I did find some paper that was in a magazine I bought, and it was just full of, well, there's articles, but in the middle of it was loads of lovely coloured, different styles of paper. And this one reminded me so much of spring because it's got like a peachy colour and then these lovely blossoms. So that was my starting point, and I chose a nice colour to go complement, and then I looked real close and was able to see that I've got a nice dark green, so I found a nice dark green card. So that's what I'm going to share with you today, and hang around because I'm going to show how you can create this layered effect with just a single punch. So if you have been following me, you'll know that I recently moved back from the United States to the UK. And one of the things I've had to learn is dealing with A4 cardstock instead of the letter that I've been used to for over 20 years in the States. So I've been playing around, and I made myself a little thing here with the measures, and because I'm now working in millimeters instead of inches, I did go ahead and pre-cut everything so that I wasn't sort of scratching my head on camera working out how I was going to do this. So my card base is half a sheet of A4, which is 145 by 210. And if you look below this video, there will be a link to the blog post, and I'll put the measurements in both US card size, letter size, as well as the as in metric. And then I scored here at 53 millimeters, and then I just flicked my card round and scored at 53 millimeters that way, and then that just folds in the center really nicely. Then I've got my inside layers, so these are the bits where I'm going to write your to you love from me, and I wanted to bring some of the papers in on this. So I just cut a strip, and I automatically cut 3/8 of an inch. Not quite sure what that is in metric. Old habits die hard, don't they? So, so that's a centimetre. Oh, well, that's easy. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, I'm just going to start off by adding a little adhesive to the very top of the of my piece of white, and as I say, I will include the measurements of all of these on my blog post, and also I will put my suppliers or where I got my goodies from. My cardstock is from Stampin' Up. I used those for so many years, and I really do love them. I'm no longer a demonstrator. I was a demonstrator for nearly 15 years. But if you go back and watch my video on why we moved back to the UK, I do explain that I don't get any sort of benefit from sharing products with you, other than the joy of using them. So I'm not sort of recommending them in any way, shape or form, because I'm hoping that what you'll do is you'll use the idea and then go into your stash and find products that you can use to create the same card but different. All right, so this is just adding some adhesive. Now this, I'm using I think an alcohol, spirit-based, solvent-based, I don't quite know what you would call it, solvent-based adhesive. Particularly on paper, because it doesn't make the paper so soggy as water-based ones do. So that's my inside, that's my To You Love From Me, all done. And then I've got some other layers. So I'm using this green to support. Now, when I was working out how I do my layers, when I was working with US letter size cardstock, I used to work on sort of either a 1/4 inch difference, giving me a 1/8 margin on all sides, or an 1/8 difference, giving me a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. Now, working with millimeters, I'm kind of scratching my head about what to do about it, because 1/8 and 1/16 don't necessarily translate to whole millimeters. So when I cut my pieces out here, I simply made them, I think, 5 millimeters smaller on all sides, and then I'll see what how I like it. Is it what I want? And then as I get a bit more familiar and confident with working with metric, then I will perhaps become a little bit more selective. So I'm just trying to work out which is the right way around. I think these are the right way around. So those are my 2 front panels. And to make life easy for myself, I'm just going to do that. And as you can see, this particular card has got quite a lot of layers. So I am sticking everything down with just adhesive to try and take bulk, rather than using like the double-sided foam sticky pads to pop things up. One of the other things I learned, of course, is that because this metric card is bigger, that my envelopes that from the US aren't big enough for these cards. So I had to go out and buy some envelopes to be able to send the cards that I'm going to create. So there was another interesting development, and it's all been very interesting. I don't have all my goodies with me just yet, whereas they're still packed up in storage, but I do have a few bits and pieces that I've invested in. So there is my basic card, and I'm just going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to really give those folds a good old crease, because, as I say, there's quite a lot of bulk there. So now we're going to do our front piece. So this is a punch that I have. It is a Stampin' Up one, and I do love all the sort of the little nooks and crannies on it, but I want to be able to create a number of layers, and so I'm going to show you how I do that. So I've got a bit of ink here, and I've got this stamp set. Again, it's one I found here in the UK. I really love some of these sayings, and they're quite large, so they sort of are quite a feature, and that's why I chose this particular punch, so that it would fit in. So I've got about 4 ink pads at the moment, and one is this nice dark brown called Early Espresso. And so I'm going to use that because I figure, you know, it'll go with practically anything. It's like black. Black will work on most things, but using this colour, it's just a little bit softer. So I'm going to stamp my greeting there and cover that up so I don't get myself covered in it. And I'm going to start by punching this just at the top. I'm just going to get a piece, my piece here like that, and punch that out. And then I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to stick it in the other way. Now sometimes that can be difficult to get that slid in, so there's a gap where your paper is going. So by popping this piece in like that, I can then pop this in and I can use that to line up my side pieces and then just gently pull that away. And then line up my side pieces, make sure there's all my ink, stamping ink there. And then I'm just going to punch that down like that. All right, so that's my first piece, that's my first layer. Then I'm going to take a piece, some of the green. So I've got my green here. And I'm just going to punch out not quite a full one like this, and so that should give me quite a nice layer. All right, so I just need to make sure that I don't push it in too far beyond that piece there. Right, so I'm going to add this in again, which just helps slide the card in. I'll just pop this in this way this time because I am very right-handed, like that, and then pull that out. Make sure everything's lined up, and then just there, and that gives me my first. I think I need to, wonder if it moved in the punch. Oh no, there it is. So that's given me a really, really fine border. And then I'm hoping that if I've got this right, I might be able to use this without messing about with it too much. Let's see how that looks. So that will give me a bigger border on. You know, I'm thinking this must have moved when I popped it in there, because it's not lining up. And I'm sure the punch is... We're going to do that one again. I'm not happy with that one, so we're going to do it again. I'm going to pop that in the trash. Right, where's my little piece that I used to slide it in? Here it is. There, I think it moved when I punched it just now. And I'm just going to line up just to see, make sure I've got enough green showing. I think I will have there. Okay, fingers crossed this time it works. There we go. That's better. So we get that stuck down like that. And I'm just making sure that I line up my side pieces here, and it should all fit, although I might have to do a tiny trim there. Let's just do that, because it's all punched out of the same punch, so it must be the same. And then let's see what I have to do here. Now I could leave a big border like that. What do I think about a big border like that? Maybe I could just trim a tiny bit off. So just to show you one more time, I'm going to slot that in like that. We're just going to take a tiny piece off. Let's see, can we see what it is? Okay, hopefully that's not too much. Where'd it go? Alrighty. Oh no, that's much better. There. I like that much, much better. So we'll just pop some adhesive on the back. Like that. Now I know there are other ways, maybe sort of simpler ways of doing the layers by taking the piece and then cutting it half and then layering it on the back. However, this is going to be actually visible from the back of the card, so I don't want to have those bits of layers showing there. So we're now going to just attach it to here, and I just need to be mindful not to stick these little sticky pads. I am going to use a few of those just on here, just to lift it up a little bit, and hopefully the postman won't mind. So I'm going to take this to there. I'm going to put 3 there, and then I'm going to pop this on here like that, and I'm going to be putting 2 more underneath up against that edge. And the reason I do that is to make sure that if I was to put them directly onto here, if I put them too far across, then they will show when we add when we open up the card. So here we go. Last little bit, and I'm just going to line up what's gone in there. Okay, just going to line up the pointy bits on the join here. And then what did I find in the bottom of my stash? I found some little fancy flowery bits, which escape me at the moment, but nonetheless, that's the card, and we have a nice envelope that it will fit into, and there we have a springtime themed card using A4 cardstock for the first time in over 20 years. So don't forget, check out the blog where I give you the measurements in both metric and 4-letter and size, and leave me any comments that you may have. Certainly I'd appreciate any thumbs up, and I will look forward to seeing you next time when I have something else interesting to share with you. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.